Hi everybody, it's Mike and Ollie from Infinity Wax, and we're joined with the three guys from Speed6 today in the lab. Speed 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a one-off custom wax for the guys. Hopefully a little bit of involvement and we'll make it pretty special. So yeah, let's crack on with the process and see what happens.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we've had a long day at Infinity Wax. We've been making some chemicals. Somehow Jake's been allowed to pour solvents and things.
With supervision, yeah.
With extreme supervision. Christ.
Only 2 explosions, but that teaches me for lighting up a cigarette in front of one.
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. Yeah. So this is one of the beautiful waxes we have. Smell it.
Banana.
Get your nose in there. Yeah. So what wax is in that like?
So this is the ProjectX formula that we often make in these billet pots here. It's a mixture of a few different things, but it's generally probably too expensive to be sold, mainstream.
Yeah.
So we only offer it in a billet form, and that allows you to basically customise the colour and scent of the wax as well to make it a truly personalised item. We've got some of the materials here that go into it, which we can show. Some of the waxes, for example, here. So obviously within the wax there's liquid polymers, there's solvents as well. These are some of the solid contents that make up the wax. So we've got the Montan wax here, which is the sort of white colour, sort of almost microcrystalline kind of wax here. Very, very fine. This provides a decent amount of gloss and makes the wax really, really nice to use, softens it up a little bit. Of course we've got the carnauba wax here, which you can see it looks like cornflakes a little bit.
So it's like fish food.
It does actually, it looks quite similar to fish food. Now the carnauba has, obviously everyone knows kind of what carnauba does, but we use it at a relatively low content in this wax, and that just allows it to kind of perform in a balanced kind of manner with the other waxes. Does firm the wax up quite nicely, and it provides really, really good sheeting, beading and gloss for a kind of short period of time. And that's where the final solid wax comes in, which is a solid silicone wax. And we use this at a fairly high concentration, and this provides, similar to what you get in Supergloss Plus, like a solid backbone to the wax. Almost gives it like sealant-like properties with a kind of wax structure on top of that. So you get the benefits of the wax, but the extended durability of a sealant. Like I said, there's a number of other components that go into this, but these are kind of 3 of the easiest to show on camera. And yeah, it's a really good wax, really nice to use. Hopefully you guys can give it a quick blast today before you go down the road.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have on your bonnet, I think.
Yeah. Now the car's been cleaned by the boys round the back.
They're not, just to be clear, they're not our boys.
Have your logo.
That's what somebody who says they're not their boys would be saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this wax is, again, it's a really, really nice wax to use. It's very, very firm in the pot, but it oils up nicely, which I'm sure you guys all experience.
I've already been stroking the barrel. I've just been.
We spent most of the night on travel just sniffing it and
see my
swiping it.
fingerprints in those.
You mean waxing the mirrors in the travel lodge of it?
you joke, but we might have synergy lighted the toilet seat.
Oh, no.
Travel lodge, if you're listening.
Thank us later.
Sorry. the skids go down really easily now.
Skin protection.
Probably needed that after the check-in yesterday.
Oh, don't.
My car. I got back in my car after the BP and it actually smells of your ass.
Nice.
And it has a mix of cherry air freshener and your ass.
What's better?
I'll tell you later.
Ollie tried to poison us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, not intentionally, but well, so he said. So yeah, this is the beaker that we poured the wax with. Obviously, as you can see, there's still a little bit here. This will be getting put up on the website at heavily discounted price.
We take 50%.
Use code SPEED6
at checkout.
Yeah, use code SPEED6.
Who said it first? Cut that out and put it in the Infinity Wax group.
Yeah.
One of the other things that we made was SynergyX, which is a 5-year ceramic coating. This is one of our professional only coatings. It's enhanced with graphene. As you can see here, it's completely jet black in the bottle. Jake actually made this product.
I didn't make that one, Adam did that one.
I made that one.
Sorry,
I did the wax.
We'll cut that. Sorry, my bad.
I did the wax.
Actually, if it doesn't work,
Oh.
yes, Jake made that product.
I did the good-looking product. I don't do that thing.
So Adam made this coating in a lab beaker, which is not how we would normally make a ceramic coating, but we only wanted to make 30 ml or a very small amount. So yeah, basically what's behind the guys there, this is one of our production vessels for our ceramic coatings here. So this is usually used for SynergyX, and it's a mobile vessel, so and also a temperature and pressure controlled vessel. So it allows us basically to manufacture the ceramic coatings in here, keep external factors out, like air, which will cause a ceramic coating to modify and cure. So it just means that we can make them and be 100% confident that they will last and they won't get affected prematurely by any kind of degradation from moisture in the atmosphere and things like that. So yeah, this is normally used for SynergyX. It's a 50 litre vessel. We do use it quite a bit for SynergyX. It's been a really popular product, but we have started making our 3-year Synergy coating in this as well very recently. And yeah, this is essentially how it's one of the ways that ceramic coatings are made, but they always have to be made in you can't have them kind of open cup in the sense that this was made open cup, but you wouldn't normally want to do that. You wouldn't sell a ceramic coating that was made open cup, but for demonstration purposes.
Actually, Macca's already put 2 cars into it like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you make something like this on an open beaker, it's getting exposed to the atmosphere, and you couldn't possibly say how long it would last. It could fail, so they always have to be made in a controlled environment where the pressure is regulated. So, but yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of how we do things in the lab here. Obviously today it's a Sunday, so it's nice and quiet in here, and it's a good chance to have a
Honestly, shouting and screaming at us for touching things. And
exactly.
In his big respirator.
Yeah.
Running at us with spatulas and stuff.
That's it. Yeah. No masks on today, anything like that. So
I've got such a big print on my ass.
Sorry.
from the spatula or from his hand.
5.
Okay.
One on each side.
So as you can see here, this is the billet, the Speed 6 billet here. You guys maybe want
Sorry, Adam.
do we get
Yeah.
some ASMR?
Where's the mic on the camera?
On the top. Go on.
Just gonna.
It's always it's difficult to show on camera, even when we're doing product photography, how the quality of these billets are fantastic.
That's not a sticker or anything either. Just to be clear.
No, the logo's it's laser etched onto here. This is an aluminium billet which has been precision manufactured for us by a company in England. And yeah, I mean, even if you look at where the lid aligns with the body of the pot there, everything is absolutely 100%.
You've got a seal in there, hasn't it, at the top?
It's got a rubber seal in the lid of it.
It's got an air seal in there, specially designed thread. Everything is manufactured 100% from scratch for these. Like I said, we don't make them ourselves, but they are made for us by a company in England. They actually make helicopter gearbox parts, I believe. So they know their stuff, when it comes to precision. This is probably a side project for them, So yeah, the good thing with these pots is that it allows you, if you like using waxes, regularly, and you have a particular formula that you like, and you want to stick with that, you can buy one of these. Okay, it's a bit more expensive than buying the production pots, but it means you've got a pot for life, which can be refilled at a lower cost, and also you can spec the colour and the fragrance that goes into it, so you can really personalise the product to make it yours. I think until you actually have one in your hand, it's difficult.
It's really difficult to explain.
Yes, they're really, really nice.
And 2 different colours are nice as well, like the matte black and then the grey.
Yeah. And graphite grey is probably my favourite one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Although they're quite similar on camera, they probably look.
Yeah, they probably
similar.
look identical on camera, but in person there is a difference to them.
Yeah.
Oh.
The thing is, when we actually poured that wax, it was an exact colour match to our logo.
It literally was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more so like Richard's joggers.
Yeah, it's more like a joggers. Yeah, it's a bit of a peachy colour now, but that's still nice.
I think once you break through that top layer there, there you go.
It's just another one now.
Yeah.
So that's
there you
another
go.
one we
there we
use.
are.
That's Jake's.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Going on my motor vehicle.
That's fantastic.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lick it.
Oh, a little more on there.
So yeah, it's been good having you guys up, and hopefully,
we will return.
yeah,
We can-
anytime.
we
You're
can
welcome.
stomach the drive again.
We're not saying in the travel again, Adam. That was poor on your behalf.
It was cheap.
We'll have to plug Speed6 code a bit more, I
Yeah.
think.
Can you do it? Can you say again? Use code Speed6 at checkout.
Use code SPEED6 at checkout.
Yeah, good man.
Available on billet pots as well.
You're saying this at like 15
Yeah.
quid.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Jeez.
15 quid, yeah, exactly.
Exactly, and you're helping us come back here.
And provide this sort of content.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
make,
yeah,
and
so
make
it's-
more stuff.
It's not about us
Yeah.
getting the waxes, it's about content.
Adam's cutting is going to be available on the website next week.
Yeah. I've just been taking photos of all these notebooks, I'm just
Yeah.
going to go home and just make it all.
What is 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
So if you want to buy the formula for SynergyX, that'll be on eBay later on today. Have you got any other cool things knocking about?
Graphene.
Yeah, where's the
Graphene.
pot of graphene?
Pure graphene.
Pure graphene.
Mm.
Is it this stainless steel
I
one?
think it's that one. No, it's not. It had black all around it.
Okay, so what we have here is one of the additives that we used in the SynergyX coating. It's from Applied Graphene Materials, and it's essentially a graphene nanoplatelet dispersion. What it means is they take pure graphene, which is a solid, they modify that to allow it to blend with liquids, essentially. So as you can see here, this is the raw material. It's very, very sticky. We turn it upside down here.
Moving
It's moving, but slowly.
slowly. It's like Adam in the
So
morning.
this is many people have asked what this kind of raw graphene material looks like, and as we demonstrated yesterday in here off camera, you can't use graphene on its own, can you? Because it just
Yeah.
immediately sticks to
It still stains here
Sticks
somewhere.
and stains everywhere.
Yeah, the pattern on the table is just graphene splatters.
Yeah.
And this is a lab table with a special surface that allows you to wipe off even when dried on wax. So that's how you know how sticky this stuff is. So yeah, that's the raw material there from Applied Graphene Materials. Interesting looking stuff.
Certainly is.
Vanta black goo.
It's very black. Isn't
It is probably the blackest black you could ever
Yeah.
imagine, isn't
Mm.
it? Like it's, yeah. So yeah, that's one of the additives, and it's important to stress, I think, with graphene that graphene is not an active ingredient in the sense that you have a ceramic coating, the ceramic resin is your active ingredient, whereas there's a little bit of a confusion, I think, in the industry where people think that you get a graphene coating and a ceramic coating. A graphene coating is a ceramic coating with some graphene in it as an additive, and that additive boosts certain properties of the coating. So it is not that the graphene is a standalone or active ingredient, it is simply an additive in there. And the same goes for quick detailers. So I saw a video fairly recently, somebody compared two quick detailers, so an SiO2 one and a graphene one, and inherently there's a problem with that because the graphene detailer is still an SiO2 detailer. They're essentially very similar products, or they'll be made in a very similar way, only the graphene has been put in there to enhance certain properties of the product. So I think there's a little bit of a misconception, a bit of confusion, and I think lack of understanding, but that, I mean, it's a new material, so you know, you're going to get that. So hopefully we try and be as transparent and forthcoming with these kind of things as possible, to try and educate people. But
There's still a lot of skeptics out there, aren't there? Be like, oh,
There is,
it's
and-
just a buzzword. And
to be honest, it has its place, and there are certain applications it doesn't work at all. Just we're really against putting graphene in things for the sake of it, which is probably why we've only had a graphene wax and a graphene QD. The QD is probably the hardest thing to get right because the QD is water based, and graphene, it does not like to be in a waterborne solution. So that was very, very difficult, and we had to work with AGM to kind of accomplish that, to be honest. So, but yeah, the product works really, really well. But I can reveal we are working on a much better second generation version at the moment. But the wax, I mean, naturally, graphene works well in a wax. It's a solid. You don't get any of this agglomeration because graphene has a very high affinity for itself. So in a water-based product, if you get a couple of particles floating around, they will find other particles and they all join together, and eventually you'll see separation. And regardless of brand, regardless of who makes the graphene dispersions, they will all do this. But yeah, that's why we've only released 2 products to the retail market anyway, which contain any kind of graphene additive, because we don't feel that there is any benefit for anything else. something like a shampoo, for example, it's just, in our opinion, just ridiculous. Again, it goes back to how graphene behaves with water. So in a thick shampoo, you could make it stable, the product would sit in there, the graphene would sit in there, but as soon as you put that in a bucket and dilute it, you would get graphene, the graphene would separate essentially. You'd see it in the foam, you'd see it in the bucket, there would be no benefit whatsoever to that. So yeah, there's a number of kind of applications that you can look at, and a lot of them we've looked at pretty much every way we could use it to enhance the products, enhance the business prospects over the next few years. But to be honest, they're kind of fairly limited at this stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think to a certain extent, some of the skeptics are right to think that there's an element of hype, and it can be seen as a buzzword in certain products, I think, but in other products there is a definite benefit. So it's just a case of kind of picking and choosing and trying to kind of read between the lines a little bit, unfortunately. But
yeah,
I think things will become clearer over time, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Once the kind of hype sort of moves away and you see the actual benefits it can bring, and people are just buying graphene tyre dressings, graphene shampoos just because it's the new thing. But,
Well, I think that's a good point. I mean, there has to be a benefit. If you buy a graphene wax and it's double the price of a SiO2 wax or just a normal Carnauba wax, there has to be some sort of obvious benefit. Like, it has to last twice as long or be twice as good in some way.
yeah.
Why would you buy it because it's a graphene on it? There's no point.
Some people are like that, don't they?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a new thing. And
To be fair, there's nothing wrong with that. But for us, there has to be, a tangible benefit to it. We're not going to bring something out and there's absolutely no benefit whatsoever.
definitely. Because I sort of made this. Attempted to. A few ratios were off, but
Slightly off.
after we spent far too long doing that half of the boot on the BMW, we managed to have a go with the coating. Actually, the 5-year coating, or
The
Not-
year coating.
the what sort of the 5-year coating, and oh my god, is it easy to use?
Yeah.
Like, for a 5-year coating,
Even Adam could do it.
just a few high spots. But
So that's one of the benefits of adding graphene in there. So with a 5-year coating, the solids content is naturally quite high. The higher the solids content, the stickier or the more difficult the coating is to use and remove. We use a couple of solvents in there to try and increase the kind of the work time of the product. However, adding graphene in there dramatically improves the spread and removal as well. So
that's one thing I did notice actually,
Yeah,
how much it's spread.
Well, we've sent a few testers of this out, and there's obviously many other 5-year coatings on the market, ceramic ones, and the product testers that have used other brands like 5-year, 8-year, things like that, they were very shocked at how easy it was to use. It's almost, I don't want to say as easy as Synergy, but it's not far off.
Yeah.
To be fair, for a 5-year coating is basically unheard of. So, yeah. Again, there's a benefit of adding graphene. That's it.
Yeah.
The graphene in this is not really going to enhance the durability. The only thing it does, it enhances the user experience for the installer, and it does add a little bit of slickness for a short period of time at the initial stage of the coating's life, and it does kind of it solidifies the kind of properties of the coating a bit as well, so it will enhance the water behaviour. So I would say the hydrophobics of this are significantly better than any other coating we've seen. We do use a thermoplastic resin in this as well, so it's kind of like a hybrid ceramic coating in the sense that there's a few other things in there, a few other actives, not just the ceramic resin.
Yeah.
But we don't overcomplicate things right now. So basically, it's a really good coating, very very high performance coating. But it's you can't buy it. It's professional installation only. So
Unlucky Adam.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Adam.
well, you never know. Maybe one day.
Well,
Maybe one day.
we'll see.
So
But that won't be marketed as a graphene coating, would it?
no, it wouldn't. We would sell it as SynergyX, which is essentially a ceramic coating. It wouldn't be marketed as a graphene coating. No, I think when you say graphene coating, the way that it's worded it makes you think that the active ingredient in it is graphene, which is not the case. So, I mean, you'll see obviously from the video that there was a few drops of graphene went into this,
Yeah.
and that was enough to make 4 bottles, I think, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
4.5, I think. Yeah.
Still don't know where the other 2 have gone.
I reckon Ollie's nicked it. They're
Yeah.
going to be on perfect stock next week.
So yeah, I mean you don't need because of the density of graphene, a little goes a very, very, very long way. So
Yeah.
it's important when people say, oh, there's less than 1% graphene in a product. It's important to remember that one, it's not the active ingredient, and two, any more than that would actually destabilize the product. So it's you just need to trust the experts on this one. And when you see low concentrations of graphene, it's not a bad thing. It just means that it's been done correctly, basically.
So what you're saying is you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly.
Well,
Well, we did get full approval and support from Applied Graphene Materials, who are a PLC on the stock market, so must have done something right.
yeah, just going to go buy some shares.
Yeah.
We will wait.
Yeah.